What's up, guys? Wes here. Quick post-production note before we kick off this episode. I noticed while rendering everything, the audio balance was terrible. Somehow the gain on my microphone got super jacked up, and it made trying to salvage this episode a bit of a mess. So that's my fault. I apologize. I have run this through a number of filters to try and bring Trey and Ian up so they can be heard, but my voice is going to be pretty high most of the episode in terms of volume. So I apologize for that. It is way better than it was. So apologies, and I hope you enjoyed the episode anyway, because we had a great conversation.
I thought it would be a good idea to load up on a Red Bull.
Oh God!
Someone's gonna crash hard.
This is after my experience, my 2 hour, my rage experience. I thought I would fuel myself up for this podcast by raging and then loading up on Red Bull. So,
did you get identity?
Okay.
One, go.
What is it? You just, dear God, now you just, oh God.
Every time, man.
I don't even know why I bother with you anymore. I really don't. You're fired. Get out. Get out. Just go. Ian and I'll do this ourselves. Just go. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers of all ages, welcome back to episode 24. Oh crap. I didn't look. Is it 24? I think it's 24. Episode 24. All right. Of On the Button. My name is Wes. I'm here with my buddies Ian and Trey. How you guys doing, fellas?
One more episode and our insurance goes down.
I mean, that's the theory.
Love saving on it.
I would love it if our little monthly podcasting cost went down, but it's not like it's a crazy expensive amount of money.
Yeah.
How you guys been? Ian, you just got back from a trip, my friend. You went back to the West Coast and hung out with family and stuff for a little bit. Tell me about that.
That was amazing. I spent 2 days at Disneyland. So much fun. I think I'm gonna sneeze.
Uh-oh.
You don't have a mute button?
Oh, there we go.
He did. The sleeve muted it nicely. He did well.
Apologies. Spent 2 days at Disney. Went to church with grandma. Like, I just crammed so much. Had dinner with my friend Tom, who I hadn't seen in, like 6 years. Saw my friend Mike Life, who I hadn't seen. I went to his vineyard, by the way. He's invested in a vineyard, I don't know, 8 years ago or so, and it finally came to fruition. That place was gorgeous, and the food was so good. Even bought me a meal. Good man. I hadn't seen him since my wedding. I think was the last time I saw him.
It's been a while.
So caught up with some old friends. Went to Disney. Spent some money at Disney. It was really
your
fun.
life at this point is just a roller coaster of human emotion from low to high, man.
Yeah.
All the way down, all the way up.
Literally.
I was at a funeral on the 10th and riding Space Mountain on the 15th.
15. Do you know what, though? I have a feeling that your mother-in-law would have approved of this plan based on what you were describing last episode.
The last good vacation we had with my mother-in-law, Patty, was we went to Disney as a family in 2020.
Okay.
January of 2020.
Oh, right before the world ended.
So yeah, we were the wristband on food plan, like eating snacks everywhere. Patty always had some sort of chocolate in her hand or something like that. Yeah.
Nice.
She was a huge Disneyland fan. Her and Caroline went to a lot of parks together. But she only went to Disneyland once because they went to Disney World because it's obviously, way better. But that's okay. Disneyland's small and fun and great.
Nice. Trey, what about you? How's life in your world?
Life is going great, man. I turned 50. I did the whole...
Oh, yeah. Tell us about your barbecue trip. You were telling us about that last episode.
Oh, it was incredible. Did I tell you? Did we record before I went or after?
We recorded before you went, and you described that the trip would be a series of barbecue places, and you shared pictures with in one of the Discords that we're all in of your little grade card where you graded the 4 barbecue places you went.
I think I shared it in our shared
It.
on the button channel.
I think you did.
With
You
that
did.
one.
Yes, you did.
See?
Yes, you did.
Plug for that.
Yes.
So, oh my God, it was amazing. So when I made the pitch to my wife, I thought it would be like just a handful of us. And it turned out there were like 15 people. I have a lot of friends.
Gosh, Trey,
So-
you're popular. How did that happen? A popular nerd? What is going on?
Oh,
Man,
my wife did it all.
Oh,
She
okay.
makes all the friends.
Okay.
But then I come in and make everybody laugh. And so then it all
All right, well, that works out.
I
Yeah.
keep them. She hooks them and I reel them in at the end. So we rented an Airbnb or a Verbo, I don't know, one of those, but it was like one plot of land that was like a giant house and a small house and then like a heated pool and hot tub.
Nice.
Everybody showed up. I feel like I've told this before.
You told us the plan. We have not heard of the result, right?
All right. So we ate so
Pretty
much
sure.
barbecue.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I love reliving it. Hopefully people who've heard this, you relive it with me. So we went to one barbecue joint the first night. We got there on Friday. We were right down the street from a Michelin considered barbecue joint. And it was, so that's basically Michelin people showed up and they said, your food is good. Glad we came. Not worth a star. And so we ate there. It was pretty good. I wasn't super blown away, but it was pretty good. They had some interesting stuff. And then the next morning we got up and we drove to Lockhart, which was about 30 minutes from where we were staying. And Lockhart is the barbecue town in Texas. Supposedly, they call themselves that. And then you hear the stories about like the Black family. That's the last name. They're not a descriptor. It's just the last name. It's the Blacks. They're like the barbecue royalty of Lockhart. And it's like a Taylor Sheridan TV show of this family and the dad and the brother and the son and the daughter and like how everybody got mad at each other and separated off and formed their own deal. And then like the dad died and he left the business to his son, but the building to his daughter. And the daughter kept jacking up the rent. So the son gave her the double birds and I took his store and went with him somewhere else.
What a soap opera. Oh my God.
It's such a soap opera. The crowning part of that one is that after he said, I'm moving to my store, like the thing about that restaurant was the eternal fire. Like the fire never went out. They always had the coals that kept eating the fire.
Don't tell me they hand carried coals to the new place.
They shut the highway down so they could hand carry coals down to this guy's new thing.
Only in Texas. Only in Texas.
The chef's kiss through the grass. So if you go to a barbecue joint, it's a lot about the ambiance, the smell, the grime on the walls.
Yep.
This guy went back to his sister's building and cleaned it top to bottom.
Oh, as like the ultimate FU on the way out the door.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
The drama's amazing. There needs to be a documentary.
That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
So we went to the barbecue joint that the sister then reopened in that building, and it was pretty good. It wasn't right home about. I live in Houston. I've had better here.
Oh, yeah.
Then we went to one of I don't even know who this Black's is, but the Black's restaurant down the street. Like we got up from one restaurant.
And just walked to the next one.
Plenty of food on. Walked down the street. We stopped at the place that had the good banana pudding, the world famous banana pudding. Then I think we took a detour to a bar for a little while first. Then we went down to the other place for lunch. And that was, I had a beef rib for the first time, a dinosaur rib. It was incredible.
No, those are good. Those are good.
At the time, I mean, we took up a big portion of this restaurant because there were so many of us. And like at the time, I had a beef rib, I had brisket, I had some sausage, I had some turkey. Like I had just a sampling of everything. And I was talking to my brother who was there, and I think I've talked about how we do Thanksgiving, but basically I bought a brisket for Thanksgiving like 3 years ago that we still talk about. It was so good. And maybe it was 4 years ago. I don't know. It's still barbecue. So I was talking to my brother. We were like, this is probably one of the best plates of barbecue I've ever had. Not the best brisket I've ever had because that one brisket was so good. And then like, that was amazing. So then we go back to the house, and like after a 30-minute drive back to the house, there's Franklin Barbecue is waiting on us. We ordered it online, and one of the people that was with us, her daughter lives there, and the daughter picked it up and brought it to us. And so we took a nap and then ate Franklin Barbecue. And until I ate the Franklin Barbecue,
you thought you knew what barbecue was.
Well, I had enjoyed the trip, but I'd been like, well, these are all the top 100, but I've had better barbecue not far from where I live. It's fine. Like the last place was very good. And then I ate Franklin Barbecue and my knees buckled.
Yeah, it was life changing.
So it was the best barbecue I've ever eaten. And it was life changing. I had brisket, I had sausage. I don't even remember what all. I had ribs.
Nice.
And it was every one of those was better than any of that type of barbecue that I've ever had. So that was how we ended the trip. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Great time.
Nah. So you celebrated your birthday by running away to the hill country. I celebrated my birthday about a week after yours by running away to the Caribbean. We got on a cruise ship on the 15th, which was a couple of days after our 25th wedding anniversary, and just ran away. We just went a simple, quick. Ran to Cozumel and back. We spent the port day in Cozumel. We didn't even get off the ship. It was glorious. Had the kind of the run of the place to ourselves.
Nice.
Heather had to go do some homework. Like she's a grad student right now, so she took that day and kind of went up to one of the lounges when it was quiet. There were very people on the ship. She plugged in her laptop, did her homework for the weekend, and I sat on the balcony looking out at Cozumel and read a book and had the PQ, the Arizona sector qualifier stream up on my tablet, right, and was just kind of keeping an eye on that, watching that, and then and our stateroom attendant was amazing because when she heard me mention it was my birthday, she took it upon herself our first night at sea to decorate the room, right? So we came back from dinner on our first night and there were like all these happy birthday magnets on the door and stuff hanging in the room. And that was really cool. So it was
awesome.
We had a good trip. It was nice. The last day at sea coming back across the Gulf was a little rough. It doesn't bother me. Like I've never had a problem with ships rolling around and stuff, but there were a lot of folks who were not happy that last day at sea. So
I get violently seasick. If we ever just get onto a non-smooth thing, I can tell the worst 24-hour stretch of my life was me going deep sea fishing.
Oh yeah, I think you've mentioned. Fishing. I feel like I've heard this story somewhere.
Horrible.
Yeah.
It was literally the worst 24 hours of my life. But yeah, we'll get to that at some point.
Well, we did play some SWU this week, gentlemen. Just a couple of nights ago, we were all up at our local shop, and we did our first Chaos sealed 1-pack of every set released in the game in the first 2 years. One of everything. I don't know about you guys. I had a lot of fun. Now, I opened some really good cards, and I could play none of them, which was really irritating. I opened a Legendary Maul out of set 3. I opened an IG-88 Pilot out of set 4, which is a really solid card. So I had all these great. I know me. You guys know me. I love red villain. I love aggro villain and playing leader. I had one villain leader. It was Pilot Vader was my only villain leader out of 6 packs, and I could not. I tried so hard to build a deck with him with those red units, and I didn't actually play it, but I started to kind of assemble together, and I just looked at it and decided I didn't have enough units. I ended up playing New Cassian out of set 6, and that was really interesting. I really like him. That was fun. I'm glad I got the chance to do that because I'd never played him before. I got to put him together and construct it.
He is a lot of fun. He's fun because he changes the way that people have to play.
He's disruptive without being control. He disrupts your opponent in how they have to, like those the turn before he flips, his flip turn, and then possibly even the turn after he flips. Your opponent, they have to really think through what order they're going to do. Like what do I really want to get done so that I can try to claim to keep him away from me. Like, so I don't, and I had at least one game where I didn't flip him on 6. I didn't have initiative, and I knew if I flipped him, he'd just get murdered. So I just left him alone. I was like, I'll just keep going. I had a little space armada that was doing damage, and I ended up claiming initiative on the 6 resource turn, and then flipped him out on the 7 resource round when I did have initiative. And I was like, this mechanic is really interesting. I want to explore more of it. But yeah, I had a great time. Ian, you had some banger pulls.
Bro, I pulled some great leaders. My first 3 packs that I
This is ridiculous.
So I showed up and everybody's already opening packs and building. I landed 5 p.m. at Bush.
Yeah. I just hightailed it.
Headed over to DL and made it just in time.
Yep.
So I pulled all my leaders real quick. I had a pretty good sort. My first one was Boba. My second one was
Yellow Boba.
Yellow Boba from set 1. Oh, just that, like that alone makes me sick.
Yeah. I don't remember what the other leaders were. They were not great.
They were
And then,
irrelevant.
They were irrelevant.
Yeah.
Once you've opened
by that
boba,
point, yeah.
yellow boba, the rest of your leaders don't matter anymore.
So I sorted rares and uncommons to see what I had a lot of, because I'm trying to build fast. And I had a lot of blue or a lot of yellow and then a lot of green. And I was like, well, boba green makes total sense. My Spark pack was the best pack I've ever opened. Like, if this is a draft pack and I had to ask around,
You'd be crying.
everyone would have just you would have picked it up and been like, oh, I have something I need. I took out of my Spark pack, I played Waylay, 7th Fleet Defender, and Surprise Strike out of it.
Oh, and boba leader.
Boba leader.
With
Oh
boba
my
leader, right?
God.
Also in that pack, Restored Arc.
Yep.
This was in that pack.
Yeah.
Restored Arc, Open Fire,
Good card.
Oh, cow.
Green A-Wing
Green A-Wing.
Squadron,
Yeah, let's go.
Fighters for Freedom.
Solid uncommon.
Chopper was the rare and the rest.
Nah. Okay.
But
Okay.
that was an amazing pack. I had a really great time. I built really fast. It was really fun to play. My first game, I look across the table and I see Quinlan Tarkentown.
Yes.
I'm like, damn.
I sat across from the guy who opened those. That was his rare, and he pulled Quinlan.
I played the greatest bit of trickery I have ever done.
Oh, come on.
Clearly,
I didn't know this.
he had never clearly played Quinlan before, right? I start the game.
Don't tell me you start with a 1-drop.
Droid deployment. 2
Two.
0 0 cost cards. Okay? 0 0 cost cards. Cannot pin them, right? So now he's got to make a choice. Does he play behind me? Right? Because now
Yeah.
he can't really ping me with Tarkentown. So I then use Surprise Strike on one of the droids, put a jetpack on one of the droids, and basically win with those
What
two
the hell?
droids. And then dropped, I pulled Darksaber. So I put Darksaber.
Oh, come on.
and
What the?
It was awesome. I played Trey and ran right
That
over
is
Trey.
stupidity.
Yeah, so the
And he had a
Ian
pretty
was
good
my
deck.
only loss. But it kind of, our game was pretty interesting. I made
Yeah,
a
we
decision.
played a second game
I-
that was really good.
The second game was much better. The first game, I made a decision that I was going to kind of go all in on one direction,
Mhm.
on the band, One Direction. That's all I want. No, I wanted to play a certain way. I was playing to get like an 8-7 or 8-6 out with exploit on like turn 3, and he just wrecked me with his bounce and his tempo, and I never caught back up.
Waylay, Exhaust. I had a loaf cat. Like,
Oh,
it was-
come on.
yeah,
What
it was
the?
like really crazy. Like what I
Wow.
I lost to C-3PO. I lost to Damien. C-3PO was my only loss. I did lose to Damien, and I had to make a choice early in the game: go tempo, like go fast, because I had a couple like Surprise Strike,
Yeah.
some really fast tempo cards, and I had my only 2 bombs in my hand. I resourced both bombs. Yeah, I resourced both bombs. Game went late.
Yeah.
Because it couldn't really, like, I had him, but I didn't have him, and I lost by an action. Like, I was
3P
literally just,
Yeah. 3PO probably has the tools to delay you to the point that you will need a late game against him, right? So, yeah.
and he,
Okay.
and he only played blue. He only played blue for Rivals Fall. And as soon as I flipped Boba,
He was like,
to
die.
I was going to use Boba to kill his, what's the guy who allows you to pack with the droid? Boba Freak?
Oh, Babu Frick.
Babu Frick.
Babu Frick.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
had him. He had him on the board. I was gonna use Boba to smash him out. As soon as I flipped him out, Rivals Fall.
Now, wait a
I was
minute.
like, oh, I fell right into
Boba-
that trap.
Boba flips on 5. He shouldn't have had 6 resources. Did you flip Boba late?
I had Freak captured in the air when I flipped Boba. Then the
Good
next
through.
turn he claimed, took him out, and then took out my spaceship.
Ah, okay. I think I see. I think I
He
understand.
basically,
Okay.
like, kind of like basically on the 6th resource turn when he played because I was just playing aggressive attack,
Right.
attack. Base. That's when he flipped the game on me. He rival fought
Okay.
Boba, brought Freak back to the
Nice.
ground from the spaceship that I
Okay.
captured him in.
Okay.
And I was just like, I
Okay.
had that-
Interesting.
that capture shuttle. I had the capture shuttle. It was so great.
Okay.
It was so- it was
Wow.
so fun. I had
Bloody
so much
hell.
fun.
Trey, what did you end up playing, buddy?
Well, so one of the things about this format, I'm always hesitant to play these off-the-wall formats because they're not designed together. Like,
Nope.
you're not going to get very much force. You're not going to get very
Hence the
much
chaos.
struggle or whatever it is. Hence the chaos. But I thought that they actually played really well.
I was really surprised at how well it gelled.
It was really interesting. So if anybody's listening to this and considering like that maybe they're, because one of the things, we had a bunch of people show up that have never been there before.
Yeah,
It
we
was
had some.
highly.
Yeah, that was weird.
We had like
That's
4
who
or
is
5
here?
people that had never been.
Yeah, never. Yeah,
New people.
yeah.
They play elsewhere, or they
Great,
just
though.
learn the game. But they saw that we were doing a chaos draft. So if anybody's listening to this and they have the idea that maybe we want to do a chaos draft to
Do it.
Do it.
sealed,
100% do
bring
it.
people in,
Yeah,
you
chaos
should
sealed, not
absolutely do
draft
it because
sealed.
not only does it bring people in, it plays really, really
It
well.
really did play well. I was
So-
surprised.
Yeah. I ended up playing. I had yellow and blue. I played. I only had yellow heroes.
Yeah.
I opened a couple of blue bombs, not hero, villain, yellow leaders.
Mhm.
So I played villain because I opened Snoke, and I don't remember what they all were, but I had like the 4/4 Grievous for 3. So I had
Yeah.
a bunch of blue guys that were pretty good.
I saw you open that
Yeah, black.
Snoke and go, "Oh, I guess I'm playing blue." He's
then I had-
Trey's sitting next to me, opens a Snoke. He goes, "Well, I guess I'm playing blue."
No brainer.
But the only villain leaders I had were in yellow, and so I ended up playing Rio. That's who I ended up playing. But I did end up with lots of vehicles, so it worked out
Mhm.
really well. I won. We played 4 rounds. I went 3-1. My only
Mhm.
loss was to Ian. I tried to play not really cute, but I picked a line that is highly risky, and he made me pay for it.
Okay.
The rest of them, I
I don't
just
know.
kind of
I had enough
One.
bounce to keep Rio in check.
Okay.
Enough bounce and exhaust. To keep
yeah.
Rio.
But also, like, I mean, I don't think you had overkill bounce. You ended up beating me. I had like almost no damage on your base. I think you would have won a
Mhm.
race anyway, just because of your bounce. And I
Hmm.
should have seen it, knowing that you're playing yellow. You probably have bounce, so I probably shouldn't exploit because you'll ruin all my toys. So I should have mulliganed differently. But whatever. I made that call. I lost, and that's what happens. Most of my wins came on the back of playing a ship that was medium sized and then flipping over and giving it +3, +5. on
Rio is so good.
and them just being like, I got nothing, except for like somebody would deal with it. I also had I had a pretty good curve, and then I had just fat guy after fat guy at
Yeah.
the top end of the curve. I had a lot of Sentinel too. I had a really solid deck. I never actually played Snoke. I had Snoke. I held him one time. My games, because I was hitting people for like 7 or 8 a turn with Rio flipped on 5. I never got to 8 because I killed
Yeah.
him before that.
Yeah. You know, the pilot leaders that we have, right? You see people play the 4 flips, right? Kazuda primarily, but a little bit of on-reg sneaks in on occasion. And you see people play the 6 flips, right? Vader and Luke, because they're they're great they're great leader units, and then their pilot sides are also very, very good. You generally don't see a lot of people play the 5 flip pilots like Wedge and Rio. But I really think that Rio, Rio is, for me, every time I sit down to build that deck, it's right on the cusp of being really good. And I still think that that he is going to, if the mix of cards comes out right or whatever, I look at all this new Underworld stuff we're about to get, if there's some good transport cards in there, because if he's a 4 or 5 when you flip him onto a transport, I'm looking at this going, man, I still think Rio has the possibility to sneak up on people. And there's so many good yellow cards they've spoiled in this next set. It's going to be fascinating to see. So I like Rio a lot.
I think if you consider that we're losing with rotation, we're losing a lot of the point of blue card of somebody and they die.
Yeah.
Even if it's a leader unit, I think that him having a 5 butt and adding 5 to whatever you had before, that's
significant
beautiful as well.
Well, for example, I saw you flip him onto Krennic's shuttle, right? At one point I was watching you play and you flipped him. So a 3/4 shielded ship now becomes a 7/9 shielded leader unit. Boy, you better have a plan for getting rid of that, because it's not going away easy.
And I did lose him a couple of times, but they had to blow so many cards.
Exactly.
I was now super far ahead.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah. I love the idea of that.
It was a real good time. We met it was one of those weeks that you wish it could happen more often, because we had new people show up. We had
It was
good
a great-
games. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, there
it was
was a lot of good
financially good for the store.
Yeah.
Like, it was fantastic. I played interesting and new cards that I never played. What did I want a game with? I want a game with the Quasar Tie Carrier.
Nice.
I've never dropped
Oh,
that card on the table in my life.
Nice.
I played
Nice.
Quasar Tie Carrier. And not only
Against
that, but I
Mark.
attacked with it. I attacked with the Quasar Tie Carrier.
And made a TIE
then
Fighter.
I won the game. I won the game because of that TIE Fighter. Well, I probably would have won anyway, but I put the game away immediately because of that TIE Fighter. So, yeah, it was fantastic.
Okay. Trey, we're gonna jump to the next topic, and I'm gonna let you get into this one. Right, this is one of yours, and I know you are very. You and I have talked about this offline a number of times, and so you're very keen on this topic. So I'm gonna kick back and let you introduce it and share some thoughts, and then Ian and I can jump into the conversation a little bit.
Okay, so I put this in the show notes today. I wanted to talk about the legendaries that are in the set, and it's not just. There's been a lot of grousing on the internet about people talking about it. I want to more discuss the philosophy that they have when it comes to making legendaries.
Okay.
So this is something that I do. So I played. I've said many times. I've played cards forever, and the theory of making rarities when it comes to the other Magic, most of the other card games I play, played a couple other ones, but they're kind of the similar. But the theory has always been a ramp up in power as you get more rare. You get more powerful. And so you end up with like staple cards being the legendaries, meaning they're hard to get and expensive. And so when I watched FFG, the first FFG game I really played was Destiny. And I listened to their philosophy. I don't know if they've always had this philosophy, if this was new, but their philosophy on making the most legendary cards or the most rare cards in Destiny, which they have since continued to swoo, is that they don't want the legendaries to necessarily be staples. Instead of power level is what they're ramping up, it's complexity that they're scaling up. So the most rare cards, the legendary cards, are not necessarily the most powerful, but they have the ability to be powerful in very complicated situations. And so the idea that they've had by doing that is that they want to, it lowers the barrier of singles. It's not as much a pay to play because you're not having to, I want to win, so therefore I have to buy the most expensive cards. At least that's the theory. So I went looking. I knew I'd heard this before. I heard it about Destiny. I've heard them say it about Destiny. I've heard them say it about Star Wars Unlimited. I was not able to find where I saw them say it about Star Wars Unlimited. And then I realized it's because the place where they published the interview where they talked about this has since gone offline. I couldn't find it. I looked for quite a while about it.
Okay.
So I can't find it. But I was able to find references to that article. I found people talking about it. So this is according to Danny Schaefer.
Danny Schaefer. Mm-hmm.
Danny Schaefer. Okay, so there was an interview done with him, and what he said is that legendaries should be exciting, not essential. Their design goal is that legendaries feel powerful and collectible, but commons, uncommons, and rares form the backbone of actual gameplay. No deck should be require expensive cards to function. No deck, not all decks, but no deck should require expensive cards to function. That's a very different philosophy from what I've seen in other games. I've seen, like, I know in when I played Magic, there were some very powerful decks that were like $5 to build, but you had to be willing to play a very cheap, fast, you had to play a specific way with the red deck that plays all the cheap cards and goes as fast as possible, and that's the cheap deck to buy. Or you could play the control deck that has all expensive cards.
Mm-hmm.
So their philosophy here is that no deck should require expensive chase cards to function. And so this keeps the game accessible and avoids the my deck costs $400 problem as seen in other TCGs. And so what I wanted to know from you guys, having seen that that's their philosophy, I wanted to get a discussion going here from you guys. Do you think they have been successful? And by successful, I mean, did they achieve what they set out to achieve? And if so, has the philosophy itself achieved what they wanted to achieve? So did they do a good job of making legendaries that are not mandatory 3-ofs in every deck? And if they did, basically, is that good for the game? How has that played out in the real world when it comes time for cards? So
Ian, you first.
To you guys.
You stuck your hand up. Go for it, buddy.
Like, the first thing I thought of is did they print a bunch of shit legendaries? Yes, they did.
Big time.
I mean, like, I'm new to this, right? So, like, I'm in the beginning of year 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you're at the end of year 2.
Year 3 is right. Year 3 is on the horizon.
Yeah, we're almost there. We're a set away.
Mm-hmm.
So I only have 2 years into this, okay? And I've played for each set, and I've done draft, and I'm brand new to all this, right? So I'm experiencing this as a new player, current player, all the sets. The only thing, I mean, what I would say is that set 1, the legendaries were mandatory. I struggled to win games and couldn't play certain decks because I did not have the legendary cards that I needed. Okay,
We're talking
set,
Vader. We're talking Vigilance.
I had no Vader,
Cunning,
I had no
Luke, Boba Fett.
Nope, I still don't have 3 Cunnings. I still don't have 3 Boba Fett.
Boba Fett out of set 1.
Like, yeah, like so. I was building around those cards, and I was building lesser decks. Like, just to be 1,000% honest, I didn't have Falcons, right? So I'm building lesser decks. I'm still competitive. I'm still, I'm learning, and as I go, and I'm competing in store showdowns, and I take top 8 with cruddy decks, right? And I do this a few times. What I learned is that if you really, really wanted to be competitive and play this game well, is you needed the best cards. It didn't matter if they were commons, uncommons, rares, or legendaries. And what it turned out to be is mostly rares and uncommons dominated the landscape. In my personal opinion, if I was to build a set and I'm the person who's making the legendary cards, whatever the 10 best playable cards in my set are my legendary cards. Like, those should automatically be legendary. So it moves around.
You disagree with their philosophy. You think that you're going to take the 10 best cards and put them up. Okay.
100%.
So, but were they successful in what they did? Or I guess in each iteration of this game, were they successful? They were
100%.
I think in the first set they didn't be.
The first set, I think rarity of cards, like actually getting your hands on the physical product, was very difficult. So that drove up the price. But like by the time set 3 came around, like the best decks were like $200, $225.
Is that
like to buy all the cards? Like if you were to like go, I'm gonna go, it's not 400, but it's not like talking 50 cards. So some of them are rare and legendary. But I mean, now it's down to like some of the best decks are like $95.
Oh no, some of the best decks are like $40.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
there are decks you can play that are upwards of $100, but most of the deck, like if you go build a deck on SwooDB, it'll tell you what it costs on player. All the ones I'm seeing are like $40 to $80 for the top decks.
And that's because all the best cards that they've printed out of the last 3 or 4 sets have been uncommons or rares at best rares. The legendaries for the past 3 or 4 sets have been pretty much garbage since Twilight on. Okay. Like I don't use them very often. You use them as bombs, maybe here or there, like Annihilator or Snokes. Like, you're using them as bombs, 1-ups, 2-ups. You're using them the way that they want you to use them. So I guess, they succeeded. I'm just not a huge fan of it. I think it's dumb. I think it should be kind of pay to play in some sort of the way.
Yes. So then, Wes, we'll limit it to, were they successful in achieving what they wanted to achieve? So what do you think, Wes?
I think eventually, yes. I'm with Ian on this one. Right out of the gate, it was an abject failure, right? Because go back and look at the legendaries in set 1. How many of them today, even today, are still staple cards? Vader, Luke, the various double aspect events. Boba Fett doesn't see as much play, but he's still a good card, right? So you still see him on occasion. Look at set 2.
They nuked his leader.
They nuked the leader, and then Yellow Villain in general basically just fell off after that. Right. But if Yellow Villain was still a thing, that Boba would still be getting played because it's a good card, right? What else? What other some of the legendaries out of that set? Devastator, right? Devastator slowly became a good card in both control decks and Piet decks later on. So
Avenger, Blast.
Fast Falcon remains a staple. Avenger remains a staple. Now, they weren't all bangers, right? Black 1 was an absolute failure as a legendary out of set 1. But in general, I'd say, if I just had to pick a number, I'd say 65, I'd say 2/3. Let's say 2/3 of the legendaries out of set 1 were really strong, staple, good cards in certain archetypes. And the reason that I don't have okay, let me come back to that in a minute. Okay. As the game went on, right, there were still individual legendaries in each set, one-off in most sets, that were, oh, you want to play this color combo or you want to play this type of deck, you have to have this. Okay, if you wanted to compete with Sabine in set 2, you had to have Poe Dameron in your deck. You had to have 3 Poes. Okay, and Poe remains one of the best legendary hero aggro legendaries printed to date. You got to set 5. You wanted to play blue in the fort. You had to have 3 Anakin Skywalkers, right? Champion of Mortis. So like, it's not that there are no legendaries that are staples. It's that the number of them has been grossly reduced. I hate this philosophy. Go ahead.
How can your rarest cards to get not be
good?
Best
good.
freaking
So
card?
here's
okay. Let me structure this. You're going to go into whether you think it's a good idea or not, right?
Yes, basically.
Okay, I want to say, so the consensus is that it started off, I think this is the consensus, correct me if I'm wrong, it started off, they did not succeed at
no,
because so many of the cards, rare and legendary in the first set that were staples,
are good cards.
But over time, they seem to have achieved their goal. They seem to have achieved their goal.
Unfortunately for the rest of us,
legendaries
yes.
are not necessary. Right. Okay. So I think that's where I wanted to draw that first line. So if they hadn't achieved their goal, then it doesn't, like, we can't reflect on whether that's good for the game, whether the game is good when it's designed that way.
Yeah.
So over time they figured it out and they have achieved their goal of how to design legendaries. Now I open the floor to you guys. Is that a good thing for the game?
No. No. It's terrible.
Go.
It's terrible. So, okay. So once you buy enough of the product of a set to have a pretty good card base, right? I've been playing card games like you, Trey, for 3 decades now. So when I come into to buy cards for a set, what do I want to focus on? I want to buy enough product that I have a good base. I consider it the base, the foundation of commons and uncommons in that set, so that when I go to build decks, I have no problem finding the commons and uncommons that I need, that I can just whip them out of the drawer or the box or whatever and go, great, perfect. I need 3 overwhelming barrage. Bam, 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 done. Okay, great. Along the way of opening my base cards, I'm going to pick up some rares and legendaries. Okay, that's great. But now, once I have my base of my, okay, here's my card collection for this set. I know I've got some holes to fill. Great. But now I want to build decks. Okay, which means I'm going to need to pick up some stuff. What's driving me? What incentive do I have at that point to buy more packs? I don't need the commons or the uncommons. I only really need the legendaries, or probably the legendaries, maybe the occasional chase rare, but probably the legendaries. Okay. But hang on a minute.
You're arguing for it.
No, hold on a minute. No. I am not finished. Okay. So now, as a player, right? As the player, I'm not upset by this, am I? Right? I can go online, I can order the singles that I need, and I'm done. But as a game company, your job, your mission is to sell cards. That's what you want. You want your product flying off of shelves. You've literally, but by your own design philosophy, you are actively discouraging people from buying your stuff, because they know when they go to buy a pack, they have an extraordinarily high chance of opening it and think, well, I just wasted $5, right? Seriously, right? So, we were, and even a regular rare, any regular rare in the game, as long as it's playable, should cost a couple of bucks, right? But they don't. They don't right now. And some of the legendaries cost pennies. That is insane.
So I have an anecdote for you.
Hang on a minute.
An anecdote for you from this week.
Okay. Go.
All right. So we had all those new people show up, right?
Yeah.
So before everybody else got there, before the tournament started, one of the guys was there, and I was chatting with him because I chat people up.
Mm-hmm.
find out about him. He was our age, and found out he worked for Exxon, but whatever.
Yeah.
He had just gotten into the game about 4 months ago.
Okay.
And we were talking to him. He was talking about building decks and just kind of going on his own. He brought up that he had been buying packs, and he bought packs. He built out this collection, and then he said the words out of his mouth that he said was, I feel like an idiot for buying packs. I should have just gone and bought commons and uncommons and then picked up the rest of it later. I felt like an idiot for buying packs, is what he said. So that's that stuck in my head, and that I wanted to share that with you.
As a player, okay, that sounds like heaven. But the problem is the economics of the industry do not support this, because as a game company, people have to want to buy your product. That means the stores have to want to stock it, and the players have to want to buy it from the stores that stock it. How do you get that to happen? Well, at the end of the day, the players drive the market, okay? They have to want what you're selling. The store is just the middleman. If his players come to him and say, hey, we want a case of this stuff, or buy more because we'll buy it from you, he's probably going to go do it. So you have to make the connection with the players. The players have to want to buy your packs. And if they don't, why are you in business? It's literally your job is to make a game that sells. And the only way you're going to get product to move off of shelves is to print cards that people want that are of the higher rarity levels. Now, you don't have to make every amazing banger card a legendary. There's plenty of great rares in the game. How many times have we seen it, right? Karis Nemec out of this last set, K2SO out of set 1. So many really good rare cards, and there's nothing wrong with that. There need to be strong rares. But the legendaries have to be worthwhile. You can, if I am buying a pack and I open it up and go, ugh, it's a legendary, you have failed. You have failed, okay? As a design company. It's the truth. If I'm literally going, I wish this had been a rare, you have failed. And it doesn't, and the idea of legendaries, I shouldn't need them to build decks. You don't. You never do. But they should be strong cards that complement or fit well into strong decks. They ramp the power of that deck up. They're good cards. And the other thing is, I can't count the number of times, I've opened legendaries in color combinations, or like I open a hero blue legendary. I'm probably not going to play this card. I'm happy to trade it, right? But the card has to have value. Somebody has to want it, right? Instead, I opened up.
I think it's not just that too.
I opened up something. Vigil. I had to set this. Yay! It's a legendary ship that like no one will play.
So you guys were doing a bunch of trading.
But I think it affects more than just the value of the cards, right? I think it affects draft.
Absolutely.
Right? How many times?
Absolutely.
How many times did we sit down and draft, what is it? Shadows of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Second chance rotated to self-away to the last card you hand somebody. Nemec's Manifesto made an entire loop all the way back to me.
Now that's sad, because that's actually a pretty good card.
And it was. But the point is that the legendaries aren't even playable. They should be the card that I pull and I'm like, bro, I'm going to take this draft down with this card if I can play it every round. But they're not. They're pass cards, and you're grabbing like Overwhelming Barrage or Open Fire or something like that, because it's just the legendary in your pack is just garbage. It can't be that way. It's got to be like, I want this card.
Anecdote time, Ian. Do you remember about 4 or 5 months ago, we went to Dallas and we covered the limited PQ up there at Common Ground Games? Do you remember covering the draft in the top 8? And somewhere on about pack 2, somebody opened a legendary Zuckuss in that draft. Yeah. And we watched that card go around the table, and I guarantee you it was the dead last card that whoever got it just got handed past to them, and they were like, well, I'm not playing this. Into the pile, and it's worth 4.5 cents, right? That is garbage. That's terrible for your game, because the ripple effects downstream for your game selling are so bad that it's long term, short term, it feels great. Everybody can play. You have no barriers to entry. Anybody can buy your game and build anything they want to build. That sounds great. The problem is no store will stock your game because they can't sell it. They'll buy 3 cases, sell a case and a half, and in 2 years, the other 6 boxes or 8 boxes are gathering dust because nobody wants them.
So you guys were doing a bunch of trading last night after it was all, or Tuesday night after it was all over.
Yeah.
And I watched you guys flip through, like, Wes, you brought your boxes back.
My
And
binder.
you guys were just paying straight up cash for stuff. And I was watching you guys do this, and I was like, why is it worth it to keep, like, you sold a stack of cards to somebody for $2, and this card was worth like $1.50.
Ian bought,
actually,
he bought, Istvan wanted, he got a hyperspace confidence and victory from this last set, or victory and confidence, or whatever it is, the 10 cost rare villain event, right? Whatever it is. It was hyperspace. And then there was something else that he grabbed. It was okay. And then Ian picked up 4 or 5, he had like a hyperfoil Fetch fire spray from JTL, and like hyperspace Galen Urso out of this last set. All in, these 6 cards were like $8. And I was like, fine, I don't care. I would have much rather traded. But they didn't have anything to trade. They had nothing to trade. And I was like, all right, whatever, it's fine. Just give me the $8 and get out of here, because I'm happy to help you.
like, you couldn't even go buy dinner at the place for what you sold those cards.
Nope. That won't even buy me a pizza at Dragon's Lair.
Yeah, what
I bought
was the point then?
off of Wes. I bought, I think, 7 cards. 6 of them were legendary. One was a hyperspace 7th sister, which was by far
That's a rare.
valuable card I bought, and it was a rare.
And it's a rare.
Yeah. I bought 2 Throns, a Kylo shuttle, like a couple of flashy cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I first of all, I love shiny things. So I was like, shiny.
So
Yeah, it's not great.
for
That
my
was
money, go
so
ahead.
many packs.
Yeah.
That was so many of Wes's dollars for pennies.
Whatever. So for my money, have they achieved this goal? Yes. Is it good for the game? Absolutely not. It's terrible for the game. I can't. We're having a conversation, an active conversation, one of our Houston Discords for the game right now, talking about the stores that still support the game in town, because we can all rattle off about 6 to 8 that have dropped it. And it's this kind of stuff that's causing stores, brick and mortar stores, to drop all support for the game because they can't move the product.
Yep, that is one of the things that I brought me to this topic, was hearing some of the other store owner or the store owners that I talked to telling me that, no, I'm just not doing that anymore. That's not worth it.
Yeah. So the only and here's the thing. Here's the thing. FFG can fix this. You can get those stores back, and all you have to do is order your legendaries and stuff in such a way that boxes are flying off of shelves and they can't stock it fast enough. Can they do that? They can. Will they? Who knows? My money would be against it. I would absolutely bet that they don't do that. But I can't predict the future. So I would love for them to fix this problem. I really would.
Do you have any thoughts about it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, please. I can just go talk.
I mean, to be honest, I agree with Wes. Like, I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. Your best cards have to be the legendaries. Like, it has to be that way. Even if they're like, let's use Resupply as an example. If you slapped Resupply in this new set, you make it a legendary because it's just a great, powerful card. Look, I'm not saying, like, my point is that if you want to bring something back, like if you're going to bring back a throwback, even if it's a common, just make it a legendary or something. I don't know, man. Like, do something to make the best cards in the set legendaries. The ones that are seeing deck play, across all spectrums of, leaders. Those are the cards that need to be legendary. Like Nemec, Karis Nemec. He's a legendary in this set because if you're making a hero aggression deck, you're going to put him.
Yep.
Make the statement.
Yeah. Looking back on their design philosophy, I think the sticking point for me is the one line that just says no deck should require expensive chase cards to function. And I think that is the house of cards that this is all built on top of.
Yes.
I think that is the issue. The because I look at it
Terrible.
as a design challenge. It's a design challenge. Because
Yes.
You're just a lazy designer. You should be able, if you're a good designer, you should be able to, because you don't design these sets in a vacuum. You design the cards to work together. And so you should be able to design, your team of professional people who this is their job should be able to design sets and cards that work together in such a way that there is an inexpensive deck that has a chance of doing well.
Yes.
And then
And
then that's great. That's
Even-
3 of those, and then
And even back in set 1 and 2, you could build competitive decks without all the power legendaries. Even in an era where the legendaries were amazing, you could still build competitive decks without them. Sabine, back in the day, back in set 1, was arguably the best deck out there, and the most expensive card in it was K2SO. He was a $10 rare at one point, right? That was the most expensive, and that deck was solid. Like, it was incredibly competitive, and it was not outrageously expensive.
so that's my point, is that if you change this, that is the crux of why this is broken, because they say no deck. I think they should say some decks should not, some competitive decks should require no expensive chase cards to function. And if you can't hit that target, you're just a lazy and bad designer.
Yes.
If it's really such a broken card, just ban it. You've shown that you can do that when you overbreak like a rare card, right? Triple Dark Raid is a rare.
Mm-hmm.
If it had been a legendary, maybe it's not banned.
No, it would 100% been banned. That card was just
Damn it.
broken.
I love that card. I want it
I know
back
you
so
do.
bad.
You're never going to get your wish. Just suck it up and deal. But I mean, let's see. Anyway.
We could just go on and on. Like
we could talk about this all day.
Yeah, we could just rant on this for a while. So let's pick a different topic. Okay, we are, as we were alluding to earlier in the show, right? Year 3 is on the horizon. We're about to have our first set rotation. Right? Gear 1 cards are going to shuffle off the stage for Premier deck building. They'll still be available, of course, in Eternal and Twin Suns, but for those that want to continue to play the latest hotness, the Premier format, those cards will disappear. What are you guys not gonna miss, right? Let's put you on the therapy couch. I'll pull out my little pen and my notebook, right? Let's have our little Sigmund Freud. Tell me there's a card touched you, okay? And Trey, what cards out of this format are you gonna absolutely go good riddance, never again?
So I've said before, you say that a lot, but I have said before, the cards that I hate the most are the ones that are the obvious choices. I want every card to be playable sometimes. I don't want any card to be playable in every deck.
Reasonable.
And so the ones that are playable in every deck, that support them, those are the ones I'm not going to miss. I'm not going to miss Overwhelming Barrage. I'm not going to miss Maul as the finisher. I'm not going to miss Power of the Dark Side. So and then the leaders that are just, if you want to play Yellow Hero, you probably are playing Pawn 1. Like that. Those are the ones that I'm not going to miss. I'm actually not going to miss like Vigilance or Super Laser Blast or Avenger. Like there's a long list of them. But if you're playing that color, that's what you do. That's what you're going to lose, or that's what you're going to choose. Yeah, I derailed myself. So without getting too terribly many more specific ones, that's the philosophy behind why I'm not going to miss cards.
Mm-hmm. Ian,
okay.
F off, Han 1.
I hate that guy. I hate him so much.
Hated you since the beginning. In set 1, you killed me with your green or your double yellow crap or your Cantina bouncer. And then in set 2, this man right here, I can't point to him. I don't know where he is in the camera. Triple DJ'd me with Han. F you. Couldn't even play a 5-cost leader until he had 7 resources out. I freaking hate that card. Django comes, takes Han's shine. Django's gone. Han shines back. And the worst part is in set 2, you got handsome young Han, and he's freaking awesome too. Cheating out resources, making my life terrible. Cheating out crate dragons. I freaking hate you too. No more Hans. JTL Han is fine. He's trash. It's fine.
He's okay. Okay, now hold on. I'm gonna stop. Hold on. Flag on the play. I'm gonna stop you right there. That Han is not trash. That Han has he has a much narrower lane that he is good in than Han 2 and Han 1. Okay, but he is not trash. You literally
C-3PO. That deck is trash as soon as C-3PO. Rotating out.
Disagree.
You are lose the draw engine. That is amazing.
I disagree. I think that deck will still have legs.
so over Han. I'm just over Han.
I'm with you there.
I'm so tired and sick. Han. I hate Han. Hate him. Hate.
And see, I'm kind of
All
with
right,
you.
Wes.
I'm kind of what makes me angry is I'm kind of with him on this one, and it bothers me because growing up as a kid, Han Solo was my favorite character. Right? I was never a Luke Skywalker fan. I was the Han. I dressed as Halloween one year as a kid. I was like 7 I was Han Solo for Halloween, right? Because I loved his mercenary kind of devil may care hot shot attitude. I don't need to be a space wizard. I'm a badass without that stuff. I loved that, and so. To see Han, to be on the other side of him looking at him, oh, great, another Han deck. I'd rather gouge my eyeballs out, right? Like it irritates me. There's a reason I like the new yellow Han in set 4 is because I feel like he's much better. I don't want to say balanced, but let's just say contained. Like I said, he's very good in a specific lane, whereas the Han leaders that preceded him are just crazy stupid. A lot of the set 1 staple leaders, and it's really Sabine, I think, in Han 1 that I'm not going to miss. So many set 1 cards I'm not going to miss, but it goes beyond set 1, right? I've talked many times about their incessant need to print a one-off blue unit removal card in every single year 1 set, right? I just don't understand why. And so now you reached a point by the time you got around to JTL, you had this preponderance of them. It was insane. I'm not going to miss a single one of those cards. I'm not going to miss Overwhelming Barrage. Like Trey said, I've played that card. But I'm just tired. I like to play aggro decks, right? I like to go a little wide. I like to present my opponent with bad choices on the board. I would much rather play the game on the board than in my hand. Go back to that conversation we were having last podcast, Trey, about players playing the cards in their hands versus the board. I'm a guy who likes to put my game on the board and force you to answer what I'm doing on the board. Have an answer. And these stupid removal cards, and OB is arguably the worst of the lot because for one card, I can wipe out many units. It's like a super laser blast on the 5 resource round. It's so dumb. So I cannot wait for that card to go away. I feel like they missed an opportunity at that card too. I was really hoping that when JTL rolled around, they would reprint it, but errata it so that it had to target a vehicle and not just any bloody unit. I feel like that might have brought it into balance a little bit. I don't know. I would have liked to have tried to I would have liked them to have at least play tested that functionality to see. But I think it would have at least been more thematic and curbed the power of the card to where it was really, really good in certain decks, but not just generically amazing in every green villain deck you could possibly build.
But see, I thought they did a good job of addressing it by fixing it with the not enchantment, the upgrade that they have now. Craving Power. I thought that was an excellent.
I agree. I think
that's what OB should have been.
I think Craving.
OB, but only hit one guy.
Exactly right. Yeah. I think Craving Power is an excellent card, right? I think that's an excellent example of we had this idea for and we've done something very similar now. So now Craving Power is kind of skews the power the other way. I get to blow away one unit, but now the +2/+2 is a permanent bonus to whatever I do on the board. I kind of like that. Like I think that's a good card. For me, some honorable mentions. I'm not going to miss Tarkin Town. I'm so tired of I've been playing it since set 2 Kylo, buddy. I'm with you. But it destroys how the flow of the game, right? Because and with certain leaders, I'm looking at you, Cad Bane or Quinlan, right? It doesn't matter what unit you play on the one resource round, with a couple of very small corner exceptions. I'm just going to nuke it. I'm just going to blow. You don't get a turn 1 play. Whatever you play first will die. Period. Because I chose the space. I'm not going to miss that. I'm not going to miss. I'm not going to miss Poe. I'm not going to miss the one set 3 card on my list. Like, honestly, this is how sad it is. I'm really glad sets 1 and 2 are rotating. If set 3 didn't rotate, I don't think anybody would even notice. Anakin and Yoda would still be around. That would be irritating, but like nothing else out of that set sees play other than Cad Bane unit. That's another one I'm not going to miss. Him coming in and being like, he's well, right. But my point is, Cad is like, his ability to capture multiple things with one card play, he functions like a little bit like a super laser blast or an overwhelming barrage on the 7 resource round in a cunning deck. So like if you're playing into cunning villain, this guy's probably in there, and you're just going to have, well, at some point I'm going to have this 7/7 loser that I have to deal with. Yay, better have a plan. So I'm not going to miss him. There's so many cards.
Listening to you talk about these cards feels
Yeah.
like I'm reliving Festivus all over again. I got a lot of problems with you cards.
I'm going to hear about them all. It's such a great game, and I think for me,
I'm gonna miss Smuggle, like just as a whole.
Oh, there's all kinds of things I'm going to miss. I love the Smuggle mechanic. I'm going to miss Bounty.
I'm bummed that's going.
I love the Bounty. The mechanics they brought out in set 2, Smuggle and Bounty, are on, for my money, huge winners. And I'll say that if they don't bring Smuggle back, I'll be sad, but I'll understand. But I think Bounty is a huge win and incredibly thematic. I don't think there's anybody in the game, anybody who's ever played the game, that would look at you and say, Bounty was broken, they should never do that again. I think Bounty should come back. And I think Bounty should come back, and there should be Bounty cards in every set. They should permanently support Bounty as a keyword, in my opinion. Evergreen. I think it should be. I really do. Speaking of future cards, we're starting to get some spoilers. We're getting into spoiler season now. Spoiler season officially kicked off right after we recorded our last one. So now we're literally getting 15, say 20-ish spoilers a week or so, somewhere in 15 to 20 spoiler cards a week. Ian, what of the stuff that you've seen up to this point piques your interest, right? What are the cards that they've spoiled that you'd be like, oh yeah, I like that?
So when I look at new cards, I always look at how can I slot them into the decks like I'm currently playing, because
Sure.
I'm always thinking about that.
Yeah.
So I love the new Luke Skywalker legendary card.
Mm-hmm.
Slots right into my 3PO deck, and I think this thing is a really good. Give a choice to the player, and that 3PO deck I play is missing closeout cards.
Mm-hmm.
It's missing finishers, and that could be a finisher. So I like that card. I think it might be playable. I think those are good aspect combos for a nice card. And I think for a legendary, I think it actually is pretty. A 9/7 for 7. It's pretty awesome.
That is one of the most thematic cards that they've ever printed so far. Did you catch it? The card's subtitle is Profit or Be Destroyed. So what does it do? It gives you a choice. Take a credit token or damage a unit on the board. I love that. It's so good.
Awesome. I missed that part.
It's so good.
I think that one looks really good. I like the new one they spoiled today. The Prospector?
Oh, the Underworld, the new ramp guy, the green, the 4-cost 3/3 ramp guy, right?
No, I'm saying it wrong.
Okay.
I don't know. My dyslexia is killing me. It's the big ship that they announced, the big red ship.
Oh, the Persecutor. Yes, Persecutor, the big Star Destroyer.
That thing looks awesome.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in the space lane, like a Piet type style deck. Like this gets you, if you can get it out there with Gunk Droid and really get it out early, you can really control the ground.
You built bombing run onto a starship. Hell yeah, let's go.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And then I also really like the single reactor, the new Super Laser Blast.
Yeah,
I am super hot on Palp Bread. That's my thing going forward. I'm really sure that's gonna be my deck that I'm gonna lean into. And as soon as I saw that card, I was like, oh yes, yes, that card. I was like, that card is needed in this deck right now, and when I was building it. So I'm really loving the triple aspect cards, I guess is what I'm leaning in towards. I really like some of them. I think that they're going to be fun to try to build into decks, and fun to play. I just think they're pretty cool cards. They're pretty neat.
Okay. Trey, what about you? What stands out so far?
Actually, I'm kind of flipping through them now. One of the cards that I haven't heard people talking about, because I don't look at them very often. I read them as they come in. But,
yeah.
One of the cards that I haven't heard people talk about that looks pretty exciting to me is the new Rose Tika.
Oh,
Rose Tika. She's just a yellow white. She's not triple aspect. She costs 5 for a 5/5. But she says if you control a non-unique unit, this unit enters play ready. So you
Mhm.
get to just attack with her immediately if you
Mhm.
have a non-unique unit. So I don't know. I feel like that card's going to get a lot of use.
I mean, she slots right into these Sabe decks that are making a lot of spy tokens these days, doesn't she?
Yeah. Dude, a
Pretty good.
5/5 Falconish type card? That's
Little
pretty awesome.
little bit of Falcon impact there, but she has a qualifier on her. I like
wonder
that. I think that's reasonable.
I wonder if you could get her working in like a force deck with Venestra. She got a bunch of early readied up units.
It's possible. You got to keep that. You got to keep that youngling Padawan around, right? So you have a non-unique unit. But
Yeah.
Okay. What else, Trey?
Jedi Sentinel.
Well,
Jedi Sentinel.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's some other stuff in there. Actually, I'm sad about a card because I feel like they missed again. I feel whoever they've got designing these bases is just not good at their job. I don't know who it is, but they just design like they hit hard on Arkentown and ECL,
Mhm.
but everything else is just gonna miss. And they've spoiled the rare red base shipwrecking yard, and
Mhm.
this also feels like just another miss. It's a 26. You get so for the -4 health,
Oh,
24 health, you get epic action. Discard the 3 cards from your deck. You may return a card discarded this way to the top of your deck. So that just feels like they did the one extra nerf thing on this one. Because if you think about discarding, I'm sure there are going to be ways that you could use this, but just from a is this good ability, like would I use this in a deck, just a random red deck? Discarding 3 cards from your deck, basically you're looking at one extra card than what you're going to see on the next turn. So maybe that
Mhm.
third card is something you want, and then it goes and just becomes what you draw next turn. So
Yeah.
you don't usually know what's on top of your deck, so you're not really powering crap away. You're not. So I can think of so many ways this card could have been better and playable. So discard 3 cards from the top of your deck. You may put a card from your discard pile on top of your library, your deck,
They
whatever.
spoiled another rare base, Allegiance Outpost, and that's
Mhm.
so much better. Have you read that? That one's give an experience or shield token to a unit, create a credit token.
By
You get
defeating a friendly
credit
token.
by defeating a friendly token. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
All right.
not terrible.
So you
That
basically
sounds pretty good.
you're trading a token. Could be a
You're
token
trading
unit.
a shield.
Well, it could be a token unit. Could be a battle
token
droid.
unit.
Could be a battle droid.
Yeah,
Okay, a token unit for a token upgrade or a credit token. That's not bad. You know.
That one sounds well designed because you can't use it on turn 1 is basically what that says, because you have to already have a unit out to give the token to then defeat to get but you can hit 4 on turn 3.
So you can use it on turn 1 by playing a shielded unit on turn 1. You could discard the shield to take a credit token as an example.
Right. Well, I mean, you can't use the credit. You technically, I guess you can if you play a 1-drop, but you can't ramp on turn 1 and play a 3-drop on turn 1 using that card.
Correct. That you can't do. That's true. It's not a ramp. Yeah, that won't work. Yeah, you can't. Getting a credit token will be popular there, I think.
Yeah, that one's pretty well designed.
I'm with Ian to some extent. I like single reactor ignition because it's kind of like a super laser blast effect, but you're gating it into a very specific color combo now, or you're allowing, say, a blue-green villain deck. Let's say I wanted to go back and play let's say you're Palpatine red. I know you were working at Palpatine. But let's say you wanted to do him in green, Ian. The traditional blue-green villain shell, but you wanted to play this card. In order to do it, you would have to either pay 10, which I'm fine with if you want to pay extra for this, or you have to play one of the new 27-point bases, right, with the little epic action that lets you skip that red aspect. And another reason I like it for a similar vein is that maybe I want to play this in one of my red decks and do the same thing and skip the blue aspect. So like there's some really interesting uses of this card. I like the idea of it. I'm going to be curious to see how it plays in execution, but the triple aspect stuff is starting to grow on me. It doesn't feel like yet they have really laid into like these are extremely powerful mechanics gated behind that extra aspect, but I'm definitely on board with them taking powerful effects like this one and gating it behind the extra aspect. That I think is a great idea. Have they done it? Is it a winner for everybody? I don't know just yet. We'll see. Let's see. What else did I scribble down here? I think there was a couple of things I threw down. Go ahead.
Let me say that the title of some of these, they are pulling some quotes out that make me question how much I like Star Wars. Not because I just like the quotes, just because I don't remember what the secret battle of Pretend is. I mean, I had to go look it up, and now I know. Oh, it's just from this one tiny little moment in Solo. But like, there's the secret battle to Pretend. There's the axe forgets, the tree remembers.
I don't get that reference either.
It's from Andor. Apparently, it's talking about somebody in Andor said something about how the Empire can screw somebody over, and then they move on and do the next one. They don't remember it, but the person you screwed over is who remembers it.
I wonder if that's
So, like,
is that part of Nemec's manifesto? I don't remember.
maybe?
I don't
know. I'm just saying.
I have to go look it up.
I'm sure there are people that have that see these cards and be like, "That's awesome! I love that." Quote.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
What the hell is this thing?
Yeah.
Can we talk about the art for a second and how it looks really great this set and it looks really cohesive? Like,
Yeah.
looks like one concept, one kind of art style. I'm kind of
Yep.
liking it. I'm really
Yep.
liking the art so far.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
Almost every card.
If every card has there's a certain amount of negative value associated with art. Like in the first set, every card had maybe -2 value for art. But I think in this set, you take all of those and you put them into like one card.
Mhm.
So like this new Galen Urso that just looks like it was drawn by a
That poor guy. That poor
Probably
guy.
that's where they put all the negative art points went into this guy. Everything else looks amazing. This guy looks like something that a 4-year-old would draw on a wall.
I think Yellow Villain is going to be back in a big way in this next set. I think Jabba decks are going to be everywhere. Jabba's very strong. The cards they're giving him to work with in this set so far look very, very strong. I'm excited for that. They started spoiling aggro villain cards today. Ian called out Persecutor. I was excited to see that card. I like the design of it. Fear and Deadman interests me. I'm going to be very keen to try this new Vader. I know a lot of folks are down on him. He looks weird. He's very odd. And so I'll qualify the statement, right? If they have printed something in this set that works off of having stuff in your discard pile, then I think this Vader and cards like Fear and Deadman and cards like Shipbreaking Yard suddenly become a lot more compelling. Cards like Aphra, the Dr. Aphra unit they've spoiled. If they have, as they so frequently do, printed a leader with this interesting mechanic that then they utterly fail to support in any meaningful way, then unfortunately, Vader's not going to get very far. But I don't know. We're just starting to get a glimpse of where the set's going. So I fingers crossed. I want to believe that they haven't done that.
I hope they have a card printed that says deal damage to a unit or damage to a unit or base equal to the number of their cards in your discard pile.
I don't think they would do that. That would be kind of crazy, but maybe villain cards in your discard pile or aggro cards in your discard pile or something.
Like that.
Yeah, if you gated it very
Go with
specifically,
Vader. Like if you had something like that,
yeah,
that would be pretty fire.
I would like that too, because one of the things that's always frustrated me that we haven't really leaned into, and this is, again, I'm super nitpicky, right? Because I'm such a theme guy. Yoda has that famous line in Empire Strikes Back, is the dark side stronger? No, quicker, easier, more seductive. I always think that red villain, my brain is attuned to think that red villain should be quick and easy and simple, and it's not. It's like they just utterly failed with that color combo in almost every aspect of the game up to this point. And so I really want them to nail it somewhere along the way. The Spectre stuff looks really interesting. I was so excited to see this Fulcrum card because I've been waiting on this upgrade forever, and I have to believe there's an Ahsoka in here with the Spectre trait. Right, like if you're going to print her, now's the time. Right, give me an Ahsoka unit that's traded as a Spectre.
Ahsoka and Secrets of Power. Is Ahsoka and Secrets of Power not Spectre?
I don't think any of them are. I don't think any of the Ahsokas are traded as Spectre.
Okay.
Yeah.
They've only ever been just the Rebels crew, but I really think that, we saw the only new Spectre we got in Secrets of Power was the Callus they printed, Alexander Callus. got the Spectre trait. That's the first new Spectre we've seen in a long time, or at least a new character with that trait. But no, there is no Ahsoka that's traded as Spectre right now, which I'm looking forward to. But they're leaning into this so hard. I have to believe that their playtesting proved that this would work somehow. So fingers crossed, I guess. I don't know. There's a lot going on here.
I like that Vader is Sith, so he makes Malak playable. If you want to make a Sith deck.
Well, you could do that now, right? You could. I mean, the Vader we have now is a Sith, so that makes sense too, right? But yeah, Malak's still a thing.
That Vader is a total. He's air. I mean, you're not going to waste your 5-drop on playing a ground unit. I don't know.
No, you're talking about Pilot Vader. I'm talking about Set 1 Dark Lord of the Sith Vader that you have that I have a showcase for.
But I get it gets to carry. It carries over.
Yes, there's another Sith, another Sith leader. Yeah, another Sith leader.
Right now, it's
a fair point.
Right now, it's just Revan.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Revan. That's it. In rotation, it's Revan or Vader.
Yeah,
that is it.
No, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. So some interesting things to look forward to. Trey, you had decided you want to get back to doing design challenges. So here we are. Challenge us.
All right. So we heard I don't know. So one of the comments that we've gotten on this is somebody really enjoyed that stuff. And so I wanted to.
Okay, let's go back to it.
Because I had fun doing it too. All right. So I'm going to present a scenario and you are card designers. And you're going to design cards for the next set based on this. So we're getting ready to rotate. The first 3 sets are going out. When the first 3 sets go out, we're going to lose Aggression, Cunning, Command, and Vigilance, the cards.
Yes.
Now, with your history now that you've seen it played out in Star Wars Unlimited, we want to keep those in because those are the names of the factions so we need to keep cards like that in. So I am tasking you to choose 2. I don't care which two you choose.
Okay.
You're going to design either Aggression 2, Cunning 2, Command 2, or Vigilance 2, whatever this is. I can't call them the same thing because the 2 parts are the same name. But you're going to pick for our next one. You're going to come to our next podcast and you're going to have 2 of those chosen and you're going to design those cards. And you can either stick with the same modal cards that we have now and just come up with better choices, or you could come up with something completely new and different to represent what those are.
Okay. I like it.
For extra credit.
Ooh.
Extra credit. You are going to choose either villainy or heroism, and you're going to make that card.
Ooh.
You're going to make a double black card or a double white card.
Ooh, double black. That's actually really interesting. Fun. I like where your head's at. Okay. I like this. Okay. I'm looking forward to that. Sweet. All right, guys. Well, listen, we've just getting close to the end of time. A couple of quick announcements from my world. The Dallas PQ that I had originally been planning to cover this coming weekend has been canceled. We're having a big ice storm in this part of the world. So Trey and I know we're all going to die. We're Texans. We don't deal well with ice. We were originally Trey and I
so busy.
Trey and I were going to drive up to Dallas and set up and cover that event, but unfortunately the store has said we're not going to hold it. We don't feel like it's safe or whatever. And it's like, okay, what? Go ahead.
I mean, that's just the final bit of it. Like your wife asked you not to go. My wife was just
you're not going.
By the time I was looking at the weather, I was literally, we had our little conversation Tuesday night at DL. I got home and then I pulled up my phone and one of the local weather stations had published a video, an in-depth weather forecast. Their weather guy had basically made like a 20-minute video going through models and talking through everything. And, I'm standing in the kitchen watching this and Heather wanders in and she's looking over my shoulder going, "You're not going to Dallas this weekend. Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, I'm kind of leaning against it. And she looks at me and she goes, "I would very much appreciate it if you would not." And I was like, I don't think it's happening anyway, but fair enough. And then the next day the store canceled. So it worked out. So that's not happening. So that's not happening. However, we are still planning on covering Austin on the 31st. So in about 7-8 days from when this podcast drops, Trey is going to come with me and do Austin instead. And then I'm going to be covering Lubbock, again, weather permitting, the first weekend of February. I've been talking to Perfect. That's awesome. I just heard from Josh Snyder, who covered the PQ with me in Lubbock last time. He is also going to join me again this time. And he is, for my money, the best in the business when it comes to calling games of Star Wars Unlimited. So I'm looking forward to that. And the nice thing is the Lubbock PQ will not be up against two other competing events on the same day. So we should have a pretty good turnout out there. And that's they have a great venue. In fact, the store owner this week told me they had just moved into a new location with double the space. So, and they could have easily held 50, 55 last time. And yeah, we're going to have plenty of space. So if you live in Texas, I would, and especially if you're in the West of Texas or Eastern New Mexico or Oklahoma or whatever, I would highly encourage you to check out the PQ at Stormcrow Games in Lubbock on 7 February. That's probably it.
You live in Texas, and you're only 16 hours away from Lubbock, and you still live in Texas.
I mean, it's an 8-hour.
It would be easier to get there from Kansas.
It is. You're not wrong. It's an 8-hour drive to Lubbock from here. At least it's a nice drive. I mean, I enjoyed it when I did in the fall. So yeah, those upcoming PQs. But we did have to cancel the Dallas one because they pulled the plug on that one, which made me very sad. So anyhow, that's all I got, fellas. We good?
I'm good.
Awesome.
Design some cards for me, boys.
I'm probably gonna log out and do some of that tonight while this is all rendering because I'm excited now. The juices are flowing. So sweet. I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening, watching on whatever platform it is you hang out in. Do please continue to subscribe. Give us a rating. Give us a thumbs up or a like or whatever. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks with some more Star Wars Unlimited. We'll see you then. Take care.